Hello everybody and welcome to Everything Artsy. I never know what to say to introduce this. Look at my sleeves. Aren't they fun? This is Target, who, what, where. But because it's so fancy, I feel like I should say Target. Art and art is all over my room. I'm obsessed. I love going to art museums and getting to take home little pieces of it because they usually have like prints of it that you can actually buy. And my trick to getting affordable prints, because they can be really expensive, is buying postcard size paintings. So they're usually like $1, $2. I mean, like, that is kind of expensive for a postcard, but when it's this classical beautiful piece of art, I think that's a steal without stealing the art from the museum, because that's illegal. But today I wanted to show you around my room and let you see some of the art that hangs in my room. And yeah, so I've taken a lot of these postcards that I've gotten through my travels and through going to museums, and I've framed them, and then some of them I haven't yet framed, but I'm meaning to, and I will get around to it someday. So let's go look at it. So above my bed are a bunch of pieces that I believe I got all of them at the National Gallery of Art in Washington, D.C. They were running like a sale on these prints, so that was really cool. But so some things to know about me as you look at this wall is you might notice that there are two, not one, but two paintings of women reading, and that is because I myself love reading, and I love finding pieces of art that kind of like reflect who I am. So the first painting of a woman reading is called Young Girl Reading, and it's by Jean Honor Fragonard, and I feel like I said that very wrong, but that is the title of this painting, and I just thought it was so beautiful. She's wearing this beautiful yellow dress, which yellow is one of my favorite colors, and she just looks so poised and fancy, yet there's like this big pillow behind her, so like she's clearly very comfortable, and she's just chilling reading a book. I'm like, oh girl, I relate to you. I would do that too. And then the other painting of a woman reading, I searched all over the internet. I tried to like reverse image search this picture, but I could not find it anywhere, and like it says on the back what it is, but it's velcro to the wall right now, and I'm not trying to take that off. But I believe it's called A Woman Reading. So the other one was Young Girl Reading, this one's called Woman Reading. But she kind of reminded me of my mom. So I was like, this one's of me reading in my yellow dress, and then there's one of my mom reading, and she's just like reclined, just chilling reading this book. And like, what I really like is there was this idea that a lot of women didn't know how to read during this time, which is certainly true. Like, these are probably more high society women, but I love kind of seeing these women like defying the odds, and they're reading books and just, you know, filling their time. So I really like those ones. So Edgar Degas, I love Edgar Degas. I love all of his dancer paintings. I always kind of secretly wanted to be a ballerina myself. My life did not go in that direction, but I've always been fascinated by the grace and the poise that these women are able to show, and these men. But so whenever I see a Edgar Degas piece, I always try to see if I can get my own copy. And so this one is called The Dance Lesson, and I just love seeing all these little ballerinas kind of warming up, getting ready for their lesson, and it's just like really peaceful to me. I love seeing like their big tutus and It's really cute. And like I said, I love Edgar Degas ballerinas. They're always beautiful. I love the detail in this painting. I'm pretty sure it's watercolor, which I love watercolor, though when I paint with it, I'm very like vague and like I can't get detailed, or I haven't really tried to get as detailed as these artists do. And so I love seeing the simple details that that they're able to implement in the paintings. And I really feel like I could just walk into this painting and I want to go hang out with the girl and help her water her flowers, because it looks so serene. Like she's filled this room with plants and paintings, and I would definitely go spend an afternoon there in like her sunroom. This next one is called Cakes, and that is by Wayne Thibaud. I may have pronounced that wrong. I probably did. But this one captured my attention just based on the simplicity of it. Like, it almost seems abstract, but it's not. Like, it's just very simple cakes. I love cakes. I think most people like cakes. So I thought it was like a sweet little addition to my wall. Now, if on like the opposite side of the wall above my desk are a bunch of postcards that I got on my most recent trip to London, England. And I love the style of these postcards. It's kind of like 1960s maybe, like it has that retro feel to it, and I love that. So like whenever I saw postcards like that around town, I would go and buy one. I'm like, I have to get this. And I've actually been to most of the places. And then there's one in between the Park Life and the Virginia Albert Museum cards, and to me it looked like a picture from maybe Alice in Wonderland, because it's this tiny little girl. I mean, it has to be Alice. It's a tiny little girl and a tiny little dog, but then they're beside this huge flower, and I just thought it was very whimsical and cute. And I love the pop of color in this very like mainly black and white drawing. And so I'm always just looking for something fun, something that adds like a bit of color and pizzazz. So I love these, and it's like fun to look back to, because like I remember getting these postcards and like visiting these places, and so that's a really cool thing to add to my wall. Another painting that I have is actually, I got it from Epcot in Disney World, but it was from the London section. I love London. But it's this beautiful watercolor painting by Matthew Cook called London Landmarks, and it's just like this beautiful like skyline of all these London big landmarks, clearly by the name. And I just love it so much. I thought it was so pretty. Again, it's that detail with watercolor that just fascinates me, and it reminds me of all my sweet adventures from over there. So I was like, I have to have this. I also have to frame it because it's just sitting there not framed. This next piece is also from another adventure that I went on over the summer. I got the chance to work in New Orleans, Louisiana, which I actually vlogged while I was down there. It's called Life in New Orleans with Mary Grace. Go check it out. It's also on my channel. But one day I went down to the French Quarter on a Saturday, and they had all of these street vendors and artists out, you know, selling their wares and stuff. And so I bought this wood panel with some of like the classic little New Orleans buildings drawn on it in Sharpie. And I got to talk to the artist, and he said in the beginning when he started, he would draw these on just paper, but during the summer there's so much unexpected rain that it could just randomly rain whenever, that he would lose all of his inventory when it rained. So he started putting them on scrap pieces of wood, and it, even in the rain, the drawings would not disappear. So that's why it's on wood. And I was like, that's so cool, like how smart of you, because it'd be a sad day to lose all of that. But it's a cute little thing, and I like to be able to take a little piece of all of my adventures everywhere I go. So I thought that was really fun. This next piece is by an artist that I actually found over Instagram and have been following, and I love all of her paintings and a lot of its digital work too, and I just really love it. Her name is Maggie Cole, and this particular painting just really reminded me of myself. She has like a nice little yellow sweater on, so I was like, ooh girl, I see you in your yellow. And I really liked it. I liked the position she was sitting in, just kind of like, I feel like she's just off to the side, just kind of watching and observing people. And it's not that she's lonely or anything, it's just she's watching. And I like that. I kind of like the serenity and the way that her hair is kind of like coming out a little bit. But I just really liked it, and it reminded me of myself. So I was like, oh, that's cute. I'm gonna buy that. And then the last piece is actually a piece that sits right by my bed, and my littlest sister created it for me, and I love it. Again, it's a lot of yellow, which is my color, and it says Proverbs 31:25, which says, "She is clothed with strength and dignity. She laughs without fear of the future." And then there are silhouettes of my other two sisters and myself at the bottom, and it's just so special to me. And we all have our little hearts on because we love each other, and so it's something that I've always had with me since she gave it to me, and I really love it, and it always makes me happy to see it and know that we love each other and that we are strong and dignified and we work to laugh without fear of the future. So it just makes me happy. So this painting I got from Hobby Lobby. I know. When I got it, I hadn't had LASIK surgery yet, so these were the glasses I wore. And I'm like so afraid to look into them because I feel like if I look into them, my eyes will go back. That's like a completely irrational fear, but it's a fear nonetheless. So when I saw this, it said Boss Babe, and like I have my own Etsy shop. Yeah, I have my own Etsy shop. Go check it out. But I'm a boss, and I had those glasses, and those glasses were on the painting, and I was like, I have to get this. So it's like been a big thing of like inspiration for me. Thank you so much for joining me today. That is all of the art that's really in my room, and I love it so much. It brings me so much fun and joy and light. And also these little guys behind me are also from Hobby Lobby, if you're wondering. I don't know, I mean, that's considered art. I think that art is such a fun thing to fill your rooms and your lives and your houses with, so just wanted to share that with y'all. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to give it a big like and subscribe, and I will see y'all next time. Bye!